I got into a job, and the first thing I wanted to do when I got into it was to get out of it. And get out I did after 4 years and 8 months. That's my story, and that's where we begin. Welcome back to my channel. Sarah Munyi is my name, and I always tell you, if what you're looking for in life is change and excellence, then I am your sister in the journey. I'm here for you. I'm in your corner. Yeah, so the story of my life, and I know that there are many people who are in jobs that they hate, literally, or places where you don't feel fulfilled. You feel like you're used or misused. You're just not fulfilled. You're just not satisfied. You're just not happy. But we just stay there because we have bills to pay. We need to adult. We call that adulting. We're paying bills. We are adulting. We're doing what we need to do as adults. Yeah. So, and you're just there, waiting for this big bang moment that will happen, and your life will be sorted. And myself, I've been through this, and I'm glad that I get a chance to help many people in my career now as a life coach, to be able to live lives of purpose, fulfilling and satisfying lives. You can even live a purposeful life even working in your company. So I'm not just saying working in that company and being employed. So I'm not just saying this to show the way or employment is not good. It's not, no. This is not the thing. Because I know there's been that conversation. I'm not trying to speak against employment. I'm just speaking about my experience, and maybe it could be your experience, or somebody who's going through what I went through, and maybe you can help them. You can share with them this video. You can help them. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have been there. Please let us share our experiences. So this is mine. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload the videos. So for me, I was employed in this company. It was an IT company. I have an IT background. I did a Bachelor of Science in IT. In Kenya, I am Kenyan. I live in Nairobi, and I mean, it was just about trying to find myself, and I worked before joining this company. It was the last company because the story can be long. So I don't know how long this video will take, but I'll try to at least do 20 or 25 minutes. So please stay with me. Thank you. So I was, before I got into this company, the last company that I was in that I quit, um, I had worked for government, just in contracts, and I had worked for a telco company, just in IT, in the areas of IT. But it was during my one of my last, when I worked in that telco, that I got into sales. I got into sales, and it was not an easy move, transitioning from IT. You are used to be working in the server rooms, pinging machines and all that, and then all of a sudden you're coming into a very competitive, hot sales environment. So it was not easy, but I think I learned a bit fast. So I got myself into sales. Yeah. And so I was hired in this company as a key account manager. Please don't get lost in those words, in the key account, the manager part of it. I used to like dishing out my cards because it looks nice, but let me tell you, it was typical radical sales. That was the job description. Yeah. So it was a corporate company, and I was, when I got into that job, and for me, I knew when I got into it, I knew there is something more to life than this. I don't know if you've ever felt that. Maybe what it is that you're doing and you feel, no, there's something more. There's something bigger in my life than this, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know how to put a finger on it, but I know that I know that I know. Yeah. So I would feel that. And then, those environments where you get in and you need to comply with the kind of, lifestyle that people, you can't even express yourself very well, even in, staff meetings, because, well, nobody speaks in staff meetings except the supervisors. Yeah. So you need to you can't speak much. You can't speak your mind. And if you do, people will be like, yo, you got the gut. Who are you? I mean, you found us here and everything. So there's all that. So for me, I would feel I was not satisfied first of all, because of the type of job, first of all, because I really wanted to get into IT and everything. And, I was also in the process of searching myself, finding myself and everything. But at the moment, I needed to pay bills. So I got a job to pay the bills. Well, you see, what you have to learn very fast to love the job. Eh? There are two things here that you can, maybe you love what you do. There's another thing of, you love what you do, or you do what you love. So what do you do? Do you love what you do, or you do what you love? Those are two different things. So for me, I had to love what I was doing. Yeah. So uh, I started, you have to start, liking the job, because you have to perform, you have KPIs and everything. And this is sales. Sales is numbers. For sales, it's about numbers, about you bring a sale and everything. I mean, the results are very clear. Yeah. And now we say numbers don't lie, right? So I stayed in that kind of an environment, and it was not fulfilling. And even the kind of salary I was getting, it was not. You see, the thing with sales is that a sales job is that there are commissions and all that. But it was not, it was not very easy. It was not very easy. But I stayed there, and I would stay there saying, one day I will get a very big tender, and then it will sort, or I'll get a very good commission, and then it will sort my life in a big way. And I would look for the tenders and everything, but that one big moment never came. And or sometimes you're saying, oh, I need to start looking for another job. You see, this is what happens when you start working and you're employed. You have your national health insurance fund, that card. You have your NSSF. All of a sudden, you have that status. Sometimes you can feel comfortable. You get comfortable because you can pay the bills. There's money at the end of the month. You also know now, when you insist, you also know there's commission. So even though I wanted to quit when I started, I did start looking for the jobs. Somehow I stayed comfortable. I knew I was not comfortable, but I made myself comfortable there, just because I knew, well, there's a salary at the end of the month, and I mean, things were, I was okay. I was okay. Yeah. For the moment, I had a job. Yeah. But I would always feel, no, no, no. There's a place. There's some satisfaction I need. I can do. There's something great in me that I don't know what it is. There's something in me. I'm not like everybody. I would feel that I'm not like everybody else here, And I have something in me that I need to give out to the world, and I don't know what it is, and I know it's not here. I do it. I won't find it here in this, in this job, or even in this company. I know it's not here, but I don't know what it is. And I would stay there, and then even in the company, we would have some training sometimes, but just professional trainings and all that, not something that can really motivate you, tell you, oh, you have greatness in you and everything. Yeah, we didn't have that. We wouldn't have that. So it's now to discover later that it's a greatness, it's my purpose that was, really just there, and that I would discover that later. But I stayed there. I'm not even looking for the jobs. I know I need to at least even get some more money. I need to earn better, but I was not looking for the jobs. I was just seated there, and I got comfortable. And then you feel very bitter when you see people who are being employed. Maybe you are on the same like job group, and then they are being paid over you. They are paid higher than you, and even the people here are even younger than you. They are coming. They also have their bachelors, first degree, that is, and then they are being promoted over you. Yeah. So of course you feel very bitter, when you're there for a while. So so I stayed there, and I did what I had to do. I went out and I started loving the job. Yeah. I started loving the job and doing what I needed to do. But I just knew there's something that I need to do. There is something in me. I don't know where to get it. I don't know how to get it out. I don't know how I get out of this, you know. So I stayed there for a long time, and many people, by the way, that time when uh, you're paid. We used to be paid like on the fifth. Like the finance manager would always make sure she pays on the fifth. Never pay on the 30th, even when there's money. So you're paid on the fifth of the month, and by eighth you're broke. You have nothing, and then you start now just living by. You're just living by life. You're just going through life. You're already on the by the 10th, by the 15th, you're already going to see the accountant asking for advance and all that, and it was not funny. And even you are surrounded by people who are going through the same kind of lives. You're all broke, you can't help each other, you can't even help each other with mind, with thinking and all that. So you'd find that, so this is why you find even in the corporate where you find so many people moonlighting. Moonlighting is having the side hustles. Yeah, they are moonlighting, they are doing other things because whatever it is that you're getting is not fulfilling. And I know, and I can feel, especially during this COVID time, many people have lost their jobs. Others are lucky. They are still in their jobs. They didn't lose their jobs, but their salaries were like halved. They now receive like half salary, which is good. It's better than nothing. Yeah, but you find many people, they have to like look for other means, moonlight and all that. So so for me, I stayed there. I was doing some small things, selling clothes here and there, just trying to do something else, on the side. But it would not be, I would also, because I wouldn't concentrate. You see, for anything to really pick up, you really have to concentrate, focus, and use a lot of time on it. So I stayed there, and for me, I would never even get involved. I would feel I'm not part of this. I will not be in this company for long, and I will not be part of this, environment for long. Such an extent that I never used to take part in the gossips around the company, the grapevines of the companies where so was seen with who, nonsense. I never used to get involved. Company politics, you will never hear me. um and I would try. By the way, I would try. I wouldn't say it was a bad experience. It was a good experience for me. Because I would make sure that I try and learn everything, and contribute in every area. So even if I was in sales, I would try and help in marketing as well. When I see an opportunity in marketing, I try and get into as a many, or understand what happens in the different in the different departments. Yeah, to just get experience and also just contribute, and also just learn. So it was a good experience for me, but it was not a place for me, and I knew I needed to move. So so this is the thing. And I, even if I would always say that I want to, I'm looking for a job here and there. I can tell you for sure, in all of those 4 years and 8 months, I only went for one job interview. Well, I did apply several that I wasn't called, but I only did one. So I was not even serious on looking for other opportunities. I was just comfortable. And I'm telling you, if you're seated there 5 years into that company, into that organization, and you're waiting for one time when you will get this big deal, or get this very good job, you're just fantasizing, building castles in the air. It will not happen. You have to make it happen. And these days, by the way, you don't just apply for a job. You need to engage with people who write CVs. Let them write your CV very well. Let them do your CV. Let them work with people who can also help you apply for jobs. We have these HR experts. Let them help you, because let me tell you, nobody is coming to your rescue. You rescue yourself. You sit on that corner for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Wake up one day when you're 55 and ask yourself, what have I been doing with my life? Because you can't see any growth. If for 3 years you live from hand to mouth, you are employed. Yeah, you have no career plan, you have no growth strategy. It is just living. Yeah, that's what you expect. Even the next 10 years, you can expect to be the same position, even in a worse position. So growth is deliberate. Career growth must be deliberate, and I was not deliberate. First of all, you need to be deliberate on what it is that you want. You can say, for me, I want this kind of experience in the next 3 years, and then I grow. And these people, they don't I don't see opportunities for growth within this department or within this organization, then look for other opportunities out there. Looking for a job is also must be a very deliberate thing. And please, I want to encourage you, very professional. You're watching this and you don't, or even you're looking for a job and you don't have an account on LinkedIn, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're missing so many opportunities. Please create a profile, write everything about yourself, do a very good profile. On LinkedIn, you find so many HR consultants and MD sliding into your inbox, and they want to interview you, and you get opportunities, and then you increase your chances of getting a job. So if you're really looking for a job, please, or you just want to grow yourself, and even connect with people in the industry, you need to have a LinkedIn profile. So for me, I had one and I cared about. It was just for starters. So you're not deliberate about it. It doesn't happen. Nobody's coming to your rescue. So there are several things that happen, and this is what I want to speak about that now really made me, now start my journey of the exit. Yeah, to exit the company and start my own farm. And it's been now 6 years. The 6 years, yes, it's been now actually exactly 6 years since I did that, and I have never looked back. I have never looked back, you know. So I think for me, I had reached at a point where I knew now I needed help. I needed help, and I needed help with managing my finances, because there's no way you're getting paid on the 5th, and by 3 days down the line, you don't have any money. You're living from hand to mouth. You're living from paycheck to paycheck. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and I started saying, no. In the next 5 years, do I want to see myself in this kind of a situation, this kind of life? And the answer was no. And then I would look at even all the other people working in the company, and I'll say, I don't want this to be my life. I don't want. I don't want it. These are my colleagues for the rest of my life, for the next 10 years or 15 years. I don't think we are helping each other. No one inspires you to. I'm not finding any inspiration even in my colleagues, or someone who can inspire you to do more, become more, and all that. I wouldn't see that. So for me, there was no inspiration for me. Yeah. So I started finding, what, I need help. I think I've been managing my life and even my finances, and I have not been doing it very well. I need help, and I didn't know how even that help will come, or how to even go about it. I didn't know anything about life coaching, by the way. I didn't know even what that is. I had not heard about it anyway at that time. I didn't know anything about motivational speaking, because I'm also a motivational speaker. I didn't know, but I'd see some people speaking, I wouldn't care. When I see even people invite you, maybe see a poster on WhatsApp on this, I'd delete, or do away with it very fast. I was like that kind of, just living for yourself, and you don't shughulika with other people's lives. Yeah. So this is what happens. Happened one day. I am just walking in town, and I see a friend of mine. Actually, no, before that, I happen to go home. I come from Kirinyaga County, that is near Mount Kenya, and I go home this one weekend, and my mom was so busy. She was so excited, speaking about some guests who would come, who were coming to the school there, because she's a teacher there, and that's the school that I went, the primary school that I went. There are some guests who are coming there the following day. They are Indians, and they're coming to give some gifts to the school, make some donations. So, she was not even excited by the fact that I was there. Hata kuwa excited, she was just excited with the guests who are coming the following day. So come the following day, it was a Saturday, she left very early. She even left me in bed for school. So when I had the tea, I prepared. I said, you know what? I'll also go and see what this is. So I went to the school. And when I got there, the deputy head teacher saw me and said, Sarah, in fact, you have to speak to my candidates. Yeah. And, now the class 8. And I said, okay, what about now? Jesus. So, I was so, I was like, yo, what? Me, I just came here to just see what's up, and then I go. And then, she was so excited about it. She said, go come and see Sarah, So she took me to the staff room. I went and greeted other teachers there, Kawasalimia, Nini. And then, I thought she was, it was it will be maybe after some time, but she wanted me to speak to them right then, right when she saw me. So at this time, I'm so confused because I was like, what will I speak to them about? Yo. So anyway, she took me to class 8. Now this is a good thing. She took me to the same class where I was in class 8 because I was in that school, that primary school, the very same class where I was in class 8. And she told me, Sarah, she did very well when she was here. Please speak to us. So I wondered what to tell them, and this is what I told the students. I told them, I once sat on this desk. In fact, I used to sit here in front, and I wore the same uniform, and I had the same teachers, and I read the same books, and I am somewhere in life. And I just said that, and then I said, do you have dreams? And I had a dreams. Do you have dreams? It was just so natural. I was just saying what I knew, and it was so natural. Those children opened up to me. They spoke to me. They told me their dreams. They told me their fears. Oh my God. They wanted me to sign autographs. Like nobody has ever told me to sign the autographs like an important person. They want to take photos with me. Like nobody has ever treated me like royalty like that. I felt important. I was a good feeling, and I thought, oh, and they impacted these children. Then the teachers were there, and they said, oh, go to the class 7. So I went and did the same. Go to the class 6, and I could see the impact. So anyway, that was one of the things that made me feel, oh, a sense of purpose. I feel fulfilled. This is good, and I want to do this again. You see? So, but I did, and I knew I need to ask people who have maybe done that so that they can help me. They can like show me around. So I'm still working in this company, and I've done something. So the following week, I was so happy. I said, do you know, I was speaking to kids, and they were so happy on the weekend. They were so happy, and it became my new excitement. Telling people everywhere the way I spoke to kids, the way they were so happy, the way they were taking photos with me. I was excited about it. I was telling everyone in the my friends there, my colleagues, and so then I also, met a friend of mine who told me, just in town, just randomly, she told me, you know what, today, actually, I hear there's a very big motivational speaker who's be speaking at the Kenyatta International Conference Center at 5:30 amphitheater. So, you can go if you have some time. And I went. Let me tell you, I was the first person. I was feeling like, I need to go there. It's like when I go there, I'll know how to be able to, how I'll be of more impact to these children when I go to speak to them again. So I went there, and let me tell you, everything every speaker said, they spoke about greatness. They spoke about doing what you love. They spoke about purpose, and I could feel they are speaking to me. It's like I entered into a new world and say, where has this world been all my life? Because I belong here. So when I went back to the company from that time, I was somewhere else. My mind was somewhere else. I was like, no, I found something else, and the speaker was also launching a motivational speaking and public speaking academy, and which I signed up immediately. I didn't even have money. I signed up right there, and I think I even borrowed money for me to make a deposit to join the academy. So that is where now I started learning and growing and getting. I promise you, I'll be done in the next 7 minutes. So that's where I started the process of now learning and starting to discover what is in me, gifts. For me, I knew all along that I'm such a good writer. I write very well, but I never utilized that gift. And my coach would challenge me. I want you to write. I want you to write this, and I started writing articles. Today, I have written books. I've written books. I've written for newspapers, major newspapers across the continent, not just in Kenya, but across the continent of Africa. But before that, I didn't know, but I just knew there was something in me. Yeah. So I started a journey of purpose, and that is how I quit the company, because I found my purpose. I started seeing my purpose coming out. And for many times, I would be called by companies and not just companies. I'd be called even by schools to go speak. Sometimes it's a working day, and I wonder, what do I do? Because it's a working day, and I need to go, to speak. And I find when I go to speak, I'll get some small monies here and there. I'll get 5,000, which is like $50. I'll get like $100, which is like 10,000 Kenya shillings. And I'm like, and that's just speaking for 3 hours or 2 hours. And then you are really engaging. For me, it was about really getting to engage with the students. They are telling you their fears, and you're helping them. You're telling your experience, yeah, and how they can be able to win, they can be able to succeed. And it's their impact for me. It was not even much about the money. I didn't even know you're paid for that, but well, they would call it just facilitation fee. And for me, it was a lot. It was a lot. It will substitute my salary in a major way. And I'm like, yo, I want to do this. I want to do this. So it reached to a point where I'm getting invited now by companies to go and speak to their staff now outside town, because I used to work in Nairobi. Um, so to go and speak in Mombasa, and to go and speak to their staff in Mombasa, now I have to take leave. Sometimes I ask for leave and I'm not even given leave. Yeah. You know, you have these funny supervisors. Yeah. Then I used to have a supervisor who would make my life hard. He had made it his life duty to hate me and make my life hard. You know, have you ever had such a boss? You know, sometimes I just ask for leave and I'm going for even an important thing at home, and they refuse to give me leave. They refuse to give me this, rude to me and all that. I am telling you, it was you know, he makes sure my life is hard. You know, he really makes sure. Sometimes he has to sign things for me. He refuses to sign. Yeah. So I mean, there were a lot of things, you know, that I was going through, and you know, I've discovered this new thing. Yeah. And it's really making me and giving me the fulfillment. So now I started now asking myself, how do I live and how do I start a company? Because at least now in the academy I met so many people who were in such a position. Some of them were already speaking trainers and all that, motivational speakers, life coaches. So, and because my coach really helped me and held my hand, sometimes I would go with him when he's doing those public he's speaking in companies. I would accompany him. I'd insist I have to come, I had to come, coach, I have to come, and I would go with him. You know, I was like a tick. I was like a tick because I had found something. This is it. I thought, this is it. This is what I have been looking for. This is it, and I have to follow him. You know, uh, so that basically is how I did. So this one day I'm invited. I'm invited by a government parastatal to go and speak to their staff during their end of the financial year, to go and speak to their staff on change management, because I knew very well I wanted to inspire change. So I would speak very much and research a lot and learn a lot on areas to do with change and change management. And I asked for leave, whatever it is that they were paying me for just speaking for like 30 minutes, 2 days, 30 minutes, today 30 minutes, the following day 30 minutes. They were paying, whatever it is that they were paying me was like 4 months my salary. 4 months of my salary that I used to get. Yeah. And I asked for leave to go so that I can be able to go, and at least by this company and engage their staff. And they refused to give me leave. They refused to give me, and I said, you know what, this is it. This is it. So I actually just went. I said, you know what, what I'm gonna do, I'll just go. And that very morning, I think I called and said I was not feeling well. Well, it so happened I had a headache, and I said, thank God, because I don't have to lie. I woke up with a headache, and I said, thank you, Lord, for this headache, because I don't have to lie. So, but anyway, I went into that company. At least we were traveling for a while. And then that weekend, I gave it my best. I gave it my all, and I engaged this staff, and it was amazing. And then when I came back the following Monday, the following week to work, I started asking myself, what am I still doing here? What am I still doing in this company? What am I still? Am I being impactful? And is it helping me? Then there were some old men who used to be in that company. There were some old men, two or three old men that were there, and I'd look at their lives, the way they were, I'd see the way sometimes they would be scolded by their bosses who are younger, my age mates. They are their bosses, they are scolding them. You didn't do this, you didn't collect, you didn't do this, you need to go and fix that machine. And I say, is this my life in my 50s, in my 60s? Do I want someone who is like young enough to be my child scolding me for not fixing a machine on time, or for just or for it was so embarrassing. I would feel sorry for them, and I'd look at them, and they were my motivation to get out of that place. They were my motivation. Yeah. So you know what, one day I remember it was one lazy afternoon, And I said, you know what? I looked at the place and it looked strange. You know, strange. I said, no, I don't belong here. I felt like it was a mistake. I don't belong here. Let me leave this place to the place, to the people who it belongs to. And I just shot a mail and said, to just resign, and copied everybody, copied my supervisors, the HR, and everything. And of course, I served notice and I left, and that is how I quit. And then, by the way, then went into the MD's office and went and told her. She was a lady, very beautiful. I used to admire her very much. Okay, if there's anyone who used to inspire me in that company, it was her. And I went and told her, I admire you as a businesswoman and I want to be like you, but I cannot be like you working here. I will go out there, do something on my own. She looked at me. I spoke to her with boldness that she had never seen. And she told me, Sarah, I have noticed a change in you, even in the way you dress. The way you dress, even the way you look. I've noticed a change with you. And it's because I was going through those personal development, trainings, and starting to discover myself and starting to be more serious and building value in myself, working in purpose. She noticed a change in me and she really encouraged me. She encouraged me and I felt, oh, I've done the right thing. And I left. And let me tell you, it was a jump. It was like a radical jump because I didn't know how to pay my rent for the next month or for the next 3 months. I didn't know. I just had faith. And I usually say, faith it till you make it. Faith it till you make it. It was raw faith. And, so I opened a company and, that I was doing capacity building. That's what I do today. I do capacity building and I train companies, organizations, companies and organizations and teams and groups. I teach them, I coach them on areas of personal development, leadership, change management, strategic planning, team buildings, motivational speaking, and all that. So I launched a company in that area. And for me, I would not have done it if I didn't find that coach, if I didn't give myself to learning, if I didn't admit to myself that I was doing, that I needed help. I would never have gotten there. Chances are I'll still be there up to date, very frustrated because I wouldn't see growth, very frustrated and very bitter person. Probably I'll still be there. So for me, that is the journey. For me, it was that dramatic. By the way, it was dramatic. It was dramatic. Yeah. So in case you are there, you're stuck, you feel stuck in a company, there's no growth. For me, I want to advise, please find purpose. You don't just want to jump for the sake of jumping. And by the way, if you're jumping out of employment to get into your own business just to be your own boss, wrong. You will fail hard. You fail hard because if it's just about being your own boss, if you're lazy at work where you are, you don't perform. Let me tell you, you will transfer the same laziness even in your own personal company, and you don't get business, you don't deliver for clients and everything, you lose them. And how you won't. It will be hard. It will be hard. You'll be saying, oh my God, business is hard, like everybody else. So be very careful, so that you're living for the right reasons. And for me, the right reason is finding your purpose and launching into your purpose. For me, that's what it is. So that's why I was getting into this. So I was not just getting into it for money. Of course, you need to package it in a way that you can sell in the marketplace, and that is what I did. But make sure if you're stepping out there, it's out of purpose. I know there are those of us who we have found fulfillment and purpose in our jobs and in our works. You just need the clear strategy of how you grow through the company. And it's very possible. I've seen people rise from even just being the receptionist to becoming even directors in that same company. So you can also grow in that company. For me, bottom line is growth. It's about growth. For me, there was no growth for me. I was seeing out there, and growth for me or growth for you can mean leaving that company, leaving that department, leaving that unit, even leaving the country sometimes. Yes, yes. So it's all about growth. So that is how I left. I quit my job after 4 years and 8 months, and I launched my own company. So let me know your experience. If you have had such an experience, you jumped and how was your experience? Has it been hard? I'll do another one on now what happened after the jump, because it was not an easy ride. Yeah. It was not an easy ride, but and then even your people, your parents, they don't understand. They say, what's wrong? First of all, when you're coming from a family of employees, my parents, no, they were teachers, they were employees. No one in your family is a business person. Even extended family, my uncles and aunties, they are all employed by the government. So you quit permanent pensionable employment to go start your own business that you don't know, that you've not even gone to school. You just did a course of 3 months, a program of 3 months, and all of a sudden you quit your job to go start your own. I'll tell you about all of that drama that followed up, but it was worth it. Today I am where I am today, no regrets, and I'm very happy. So please let me know your experience, subscribe, let us engage, and let me know how I can be able to assist you in case you are stuck in employment or in your current career. Thank you.